do? My name's Anna. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I hope everybody's having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, I hope that something happens today that boosts your mood, that makes you feel special, that makes you feel loved, happy, joyful, whatever the case may be, just even a little bit. Today, I just want to talk about my fantasy list for PR. I am a tiny little YouTuber over here, and I'm a long ways from ever experiencing that, but I just thought, wouldn't it be fun to dream and tell you sort of, if I were to ever receive PR, the brands that are sort of my and I narrowed it down to 11. I couldn't quite get it down to 10, which was sort of my goal because, it's a nice even number, but I like 11. I like things that are odd, so let's go for it. And these are basically in order, I think. Well, no, I don't know. I take that back. Anyways, these are the brands that if I received PR, if I could receive PR, these are the first, the top 10, 11 that I would want to receive them from. The first one is ColourPop. ColourPop, first off, has tons of releases. So that's just a lot of content. Just a lot of new stuff to try, which is always fun, but obviously I don't have the money maybe not obviously, but I don't have all the money to get all of the new releases from everything. And I feel like ColourPop they just have a lot of releases and a lot of really fun releases. Some of them I'm more interested in than others, but it's also not it's usually not my favorite formulas, but I'm always really curious to see what's going on with them. And they always get me with the marketing, and it's just cute. And I like a lot of their products. I think they're very good for the price. So yeah, ColourPop would definitely be very high up on my list. The next one is Odenseye. Odenseye it's possibly my favorite brand, or the brand that just gives me the most feels. I don't know. I just feel very it's so whimsical. It's so fairy world magic. And in a way that resonates with me. I am not Swedish. I'm not from Sweden. I don't have relatives from Sweden. Nothing like that. But my DNA, the biggest chunk of my DNA, I'm 41% Swedish. So I don't know. There's something about that makes me feel, and have always sort of felt this love of Scandinavia and curiosity about Scandinavia, and ancestral. I wonder about ancestral memory and things like that. Anyways, I don't know. It's maybe a little silly, but it's how I feel. So I don't know. That's that. Anyways, I love their releases. I always want them. And, again, I just can't afford to buy every single one, but I love everything that I have from Odenseye, basically. So yeah, so Odenseye is definitely on this list. I also just like them as a brand. They've always been very, how do I explain it? Upstanding, considerate. I feel they're not drama. They're not controversial. They're making their makeup and they're doing their thing. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. Their customer service has been great too. They sent me the wrong thing once, and I wrote them, and they were so sweet about it and just sent me a new, basically sent me the thing that wasn't sent in the first place and let me keep the other thing they sent, which I gave to my mom, and everyone was happy. Anyway, moving on. Okay, the next one. So I would love to receive PR from Charlotte Tilbury, and here's why. I am always so curious about Charlotte Tilbury launches. I really want to try that Plumpgasm lipstick, plumping lip gloss. I like plumping lip glosses. It just looks really pretty. I think the name is stupid, but that's beside the point. Anyways, I want to try a lot of Charlotte Tilbury things, but Charlotte Tilbury is so expensive. And honestly, I've only really, really liked about 30% of the stuff that I've gotten from Charlotte Tilbury. So like, it's kind of a huge gamble to spend all that money. And so I'm a little hesitant to try to buy things from Charlotte Tilbury, but I always want to try them, but it's too expensive for me to take that risk. And I don't like returning makeup. Every once in a while I will for various reasons. But anyway, that's where I'm at with Charlotte Tilbury. Like I said, I really, really like some of the things that she has come out with. I've always been curious about every release that she has, but it's so expensive that I don't tend to purchase them, even though I really want to try them. Okay, the next one, Blend Bunny. Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I love everything about Blend Bunny. Just the vibe, the ethos, the makeup. The formulas are great. The aesthetic is great. The curation, the color curation. The owner just seems like such a rad human being. I've always gotten my orders so quickly. I remember the first 2 palettes that I ordered from them, and this was, you know, a couple years ago when they were first starting out. I placed my order, and within like an hour and a half, I got my shipping notification. Like, it was crazy fast, and it's still fast. Like, it's always like a day or 2. I mean, it's so fast. They're so quick. They're so responsive. Love them. And I think they're doing such a good job. I love, love, love them. It's funny because in a way I just want to support them by buying their products, but you know, I just can't afford to always be buying everything. So, you know, it's on my fantasy list. All right. The next one is Terra Moons. Terra Moon singles are the most wowed. I say this all the time. They're the most wowed I've ever been when I swatch the eyeshadows. When I get the singles in the mail and I swatch them on my arm, I'm like, oh my goodness, these are wild. They're so good. They're just so mind-blowing. Again, just so expensive, you know, and it's not, I'm like not faulting especially these indie brands for the prices. I'm sure it's worth that. It's just hard, you know, to spend that, especially when there are so many different brands that I'm interested in. Anyways, love Terra Moons. They're just so good. Also, it's another brand where I feel like I've always gotten things in a very timely manner. They're very clear about when things will be shipping, and they always adhere to them very closely. I've gotten a lot of things early. If anything's ever been late, it's like maybe by a week or something, and usually they're very communicative about it. Anyway, they are great. All right, the next one is Menagerie Cosmetics. I love everything about that brand. I don't love the formulas as much with that brand as I do some others, but it's good. And I love the color stories, and I love the, again, it's like the ethos and the vibe. And I love the theme. I love that everything is animal themed. I love animals so much, like so much. And I love how cute the packaging is and how cute the color stories are. And I love the whole vibe. Love the vibe. Plus they are in Washington. Actually, I think they might be in Idaho now. Like, I think they were in Washington and like just barely crossed the border or something. Was that brand? Anyways, yeah, I would love to be on their PR list because I love everything that I love the vibe. Love the vibe. The next one is Rephr brushes. I really like Rephr brushes. But sometimes it's really hard to justify spending more money on brushes. Especially, I don't love all of them, but I love trying them out and being able to tell you all, you know, like what works for me. But yeah, I can't buy every brush. Especially, you know, I don't use bronzer a lot. And so like buying, I don't know, even like a $35 bronzing brush or whatever. I think they're more expensive, but they're often half off. I think they actually have very good prices for what they are. I love a lot of their brushes. I love that they take feedback. I've heard that they really take feedback from their customers. And I admire that, and I think that that's great. So yeah, just a lot of respect for them. Love their brushes. I just can't necessarily justify purchasing brushes all the time, but I do like them. I also like their brush soap. Anyway, okay, so these two are a little weird because they are my favorite brands, but I don't think they really do a lot of PR. And that is, the first one is Natasha Denona. I mean, if you've ever watched like probably any other video of mine, you probably know that I love Natasha Denona. I love her eyeshadows. I really like her lipsticks and lip liners. I'm trying to think of other things at this point. I don't know, I can't think of what else I love right now, but I do love, love, love the eyeshadows. Oh, the new blush from the Hyper Natural Face Palette. Love those blushes. Anyways, I'm digressing a lot. Natasha Denona, I don't think sends a whole lot of PR, and so that's kind of where I'm like a little bit like, well, you know, like, but it would be cool to get something every once in a while, just because especially the eyeshadows, like I pretty much always love them, and I'm pretty much always going to buy them, and I don't feel as much of a need to support these huge brands as much as like, you know, like I said with Blend Bunny, it's like I almost do want to buy the palettes and support the brand. But with huge brands like Natasha Denona, you know, it's interesting because yes, it's a brand that I like and I want to support brands that I like, but it's so big, I don't feel like it's going to make that much of a difference. Anyways, that's one of them. And then the next one is Pat McGrath. I mean, I'm a Pat McGrath fan. I think she does amazing work. It's just so beautiful. It's so sparkly and ethereal, but like dramatic and so good. It's so good. But sometimes, well, first off, it's very expensive. And secondly, sometimes it's like I want to try everything because I'm a collector and I'm a fan of the brand, but a lot of the things are a little bit similar to the last, and like you just kind of never know. I feel like with Pat McGrath, what's going to like be like other things or not, or work for me, or I don't know. So I don't know, whatever. It's one of my favorite brands. So like, why not have that on my fantasy PR list? I also don't think she gives out a lot of PR. Anyways, my next one on here is Fenty Beauty. I'm always so curious about Fenty releases, and I really, really like a lot of products, and she comes out with so many different products. And I feel like too, when I post about Fenty products, I tend to get pretty good views, on my videos. So it seems like my audience is into Fenty. Anyway, so I think that would be fun. I think that would be like a good one, like well-rounded, you know, they do everything. They do everything from complexion to, you know, eyeshadow. Well, actually, they haven't done a lot of eyeshadow lately. And I've never tried a Fenty eyeshadow because I've heard they aren't that great. Interesting, which is why I've never bought one, because I've never seen a good review on a Fenty eyeshadow. Interesting. Well, that would be another reason, because I don't want to purchase it, but I would be curious to try it. And then the last one, so it's like there's a certain kind of brand that I want to like round out everything. And I think the best example of this is Adept Cosmetics. I like Adept, and I like, how do I explain this? It's almost like it's like a certain type of indie brand, you know? Like Adept really focuses on those wild, like multi-chromes and the holographic ones. Like their last one was it called Cyborg Choir? And I was so fascinated with that. And I feel like they really try new formulas with that, and they're always in palette form, which I kind of like. Sometimes I get very overwhelmed with singles. I love Clionadh shadows. I love Davina shadows. I love Terra Moon shadows, you know, but I tend to get, and I love Lethal shadows, but I tend to get a little overwhelmed with singles for whatever reason. I kind of like things in palette form. There's just something about that. And so I think Adept is like the best like indie brand of that nature to have on my fantasy PR list. I don't know, whatever. This is my fantasy. I could add, there were quite a few others on here. I won't talk in depth about them, but like some that I sort of cut off of the list were Unearthly, Danessa Myricks, Huda Beauty, Dior, and NARS. Did I say Rare Beauty? That's another one. Rare Beauty is sort of in the same vein as Fenty Beauty for me. They have a lot of releases and a lot of different types of products, like everything from colorful products to, what am I trying to say, complexion. Anyways, that's my fantasy PR list. What would be on your fantasy PR list? I love to know your thoughts on this. Because I'm assuming you're all into makeup if you're watching this. If you were to receive PR from brands, which ones would you want? Which ones would you choose first? Anyways, again, hope you're having a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side alive. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way if we keep on the sunny side alive.